Good morning, brothers. Welcome to A Brown Bag Gentleman. My name is Scott, and today's shave is with Barrister and Mann. Vespers is up to, no, it's not right, it's right up. There we go. Vespers. And razor is my favorite vintage razor that I've owned so far. It's the Gillette G-Bar. Well, it takes a gem style, or not, I said Gillette, didn't I? Sorry, the Gem G-Bar. Sorry, it takes a gem razor blade in there, as you can see. And we'll go over that here in just a second. But let's get started here by at least putting the soap in the bowl. So we got our little residue left in there, but that's okay. Of my timeless bowl, plastic bowl here. I'm gonna open the sample up. Oh, the cap came off. This was when first time I opened this. This was sitting out in there, but yeah, when I took it off again, it pulled off. But yeah, so it's been sealed. So I like that they do that. They take the extra effort over at Maggard's when they're hand packing these little samples to seal them up too, to keep them as fresh as possible. So I like that. Just that extra touch there. Hats off Maggard's, and I really appreciate that they consistently make a good variety of samples from the original size containers into sample size containers so we can purchase them and try things. So yes, and that's why that's kind of my thing. I show you samples, and most of the samples come from Maggard's. So yeah, the smell is nice. Earthier than I thought it was going to be, but we'll get to that. A little bit of sweetness, but it is definitely more earthiness in there, and this is a homage to Mousse de Saxe or Saxon moss. It's got cranberry and cardamom, balsam, fern, patchouli, rose, sandalwood, and bergamot scent in here. And it is a tallow base, so there is definitely tallow in there. And we're going to take a little scoop out of here with the back of the spoon that I've got, of course, custom bent. Spare no expense for my dollar store spoon here. Oops, I don't need quite that much as I was getting ready to cool on all there. There we go. That's still, oh, that's, let me shape. There we go. Yeah, I only need a little bit. I had to chop some of that off. I was getting too much, but there we go. Almond size. That's more of a true almond size there. Just snug it off. I'm going to take it in this bowl and I'm going to scoop it off that spoon and push it in the bottom of this bowl over top of the other stuff that's in there. Sorry, yeah, there's a little residue left over from a previous sample. Shouldn't really affect us at all. There we go, smushing it out just to get surface area for the brush to hit. So I like to smush it fairly flat. Here we go. Not taking a lot of time with it, but there you go. Done. Whoops, a little bit sticking up, so let's smush that down. There we go. Wash off my hand and the spoon here too as well. Lots of soap on the finger still. Okay, there we go. Oh, stuck to the spoon more than I thought. Okay. There we go. That's all washed off. Set that aside in the back of the sink. Let the water run here for a minute. And I like to just flick it real fast underneath the sink here. Whoops. There we go. Just allow just let that sit in there while I'm washing up and everything else here too. So wipe my hands off. So yeah, I'm going to pause here for a sec, wash my face, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. Washed up the face here. As you can see, it's 2 days growth. So I just washed it with a warm washcloth and some soap. My Preshave soap cube from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements is what I use. It's a staple. It's always on the edge of the sink here on its little tray. But yeah, let's get into a couple of things. First of all, let me show you a couple of things just because I haven't shown you. I always talk about, like, what do you do with your razor blades when you're done with them? I save an old Altoids tin. I've been using this for several years. You see, there's several years worth in there. And I probably got, if I scoot that over, you can see I still got plenty of room in there for at least like 25 weeks or so. So 6 months or so, still plenty of room in here. And I've had this for a couple of years, just putting blades in there. So that's what I do. And it just stays in a drawer down here. And I just use that. Also want to point out, I only have 2 soaps left for this last batch before a giveaway. So yes, for example, today's soap sample that I took 1 little spoonful out of gets set aside, goes into a stack of the previous ones, and I give that away. So after I finish these, so that's one a week for the next 2 weeks. So added next week, so probably about 3 weeks. We'll say it's probably been about time for a giveaway. Don't hold me to that exactly, but that time frame would be about right for me to have my next giveaway. So be watching for that. if you're interested in trying some soaps. And say it's only had one scoop out of them. There's still enough in there for 4 shaves. So you'll be looking for that giveaway. So yeah, just coming up. And for that, let's talk about the razor a bit more. This is it's just quirky enough. It's kind of neat, but it still has a blade you can still get easily, readily. And so let me open that up. It's just spring tension, and this is probably 1950s vintage-ish, somewhere in there. When I got it, and it came actually probably one of the best razors off of eBay that I've ever got as far as quality of the finish. It's just the top still just shines. You can see a little steam off my finger, my finger there, but it just shines. This is just such, and it was less than $20 when I bought it years ago. So these are they're a pretty good bargain, and it's just full of some novel things. So let's just show you here. So yeah, it looks like a box cutter blade. That's what it looks like. I wouldn't recommend using a box cutter blade. You won't like it, but you get real gem blades, and these are not horribly expensive to buy a box of how many for this. So, and see how it goes in. There's like the 2 tabs that hold it down. So just hold the bottom corner of the blade, and you just snap it shut. Done. And that spring is still plenty strong, I can tell you. And of course, it's a short little handle, not very tall razor, but I like short handles. Even on my other razors, I like a 3.5 inch handle. That's my preference. And it's got the little tab at the bottom, which makes it very handy for like going against the grain and stuff. The thumb, it just rests against the thumb and what have you, the fingers, and easy to use. Also, this is like no other handle for any other razor I've ever owned, because this handle is not round. Let me twist it slow so you can see. See, it's wider there. It's oval. It's oval front to back. And it's got a little little knurling there, which is plenty of knurling like it. That's not overly sharp. Of course, after 50 years, it wouldn't be anyway. Or if it's actually more than 50 years, it'd probably be more closer to 65, 70 years old. But it's still plenty of grip there to hold on to. It's metal, so it has enough weight. It's basically, literally, it's a one piece with a little spring-loaded cap on it. And it gives a fairly good shave too. It's not my top shave, but as far as my vintage razors, it's up there. So yes, I do like this a lot. But let's get started with creating that lather here. So you have my soap just sitting here soaking in a little bit of water. Take my, RazoRock Hive with that 24 millimeter. Yeah, 24 millimeter brush. Synthetic, 2 shakes and squeeze. 1, 2, squeeze. And I'm going to leave the water. It's probably, at this point, it's probably only like a quarter to a third of a teaspoon of water in there. Plenty of water. So we're going to start making lather. Oh yeah. Scent is really coming out when of course I'm holding it up in front of my face, but the scent's really coming out with this now too. And see, it's more of an earthy scent with a little bit of sweetness to it. I thought it might be the vice versa when I've seen the cranberry and everything in there, but no, there's so much green scents in there. Yeah, it's mostly heavily green scented. And it's a nice green. I like it. I enjoy this. Okay, so we just did 50. That's 50 swirls. We can do another 50. Okay, that's total of 100. It's getting there. Add a little more water. There we go. Now I just switched to counterclockwise just to vary it up for comfort. So we're going to go 50 counterclockwise. Okay, it's starting to build it up now. See, now it's starting to build a little bit. A little more water, a little more water. There we go. 50 more. Okay, so I'm 200 swirls in. And yeah, I'm going to do 50 more because I usually do 250 total. And that's looking real good though. But yeah, 50 more. Not going to add water. I could, not going to. Let's talk about that for a sec. Adding more water would probably create a little bit more volume, but I'm not necessarily after a whole bunch of volume. I'm after quality of lather. And the water that's in here will be sufficient. There we go. And now we're at the peakiness, the volume water, the fluffiness, the peakiness that I like, that this is what I aim for. So this is hitting right where I want it to be. And like last week's lather was more volume and more liquidy, we'll say, but it also was gobs of it, all that too, from last week's soap, if you want to go see that. So yeah, but this is what I usually end up with. So yeah, this is cool. So let me just splash a little water on because I've been jabberj on since I washed my face. So yeah, a little moisture. I like to start with a little damp face. And it looks like I was had some comments from, looked like a, we'll say, not even new shaver, DE shaver yet, but somebody looking, came across one of my 4-year-old videos, was looking at that, made a comment on my last video. So hopefully he's checking things out. And of course, don't check out just me. There's many more out there doing the shaving videos. Oh, that smells nice. Strength on this is more than I thought, especially on the face. This is probably like a good solid 5 out of 10 type of thing, which is way stronger than I'm used to Barrister and Mann soaps being. But this has just really hit me in the face with that greenness, and I'm really liking it. Crush it above the mustache. I shave above because I've got the little pencil mustache now, which is usually by summer. That's why I've shaved it down to that. That's just what I like, is that especially the big head, full-size mustache and the hair is growing up, not growing up, but poking up in the nose, making the nose itch. So yeah, I tend not to like that as much. So, and of course, for the above the nose, we're going to get that done first. We could use the leaf twig with a half a DE blade in it. So yes, you're going to see this a lot now until I get rid of the mustache, because I use it every time. 2 days growth. Like that. Set that aside. Now we go into the gem G-bar. Just got that little warmed up in the water. See, notice it is a lot steeper angle, but because the head is angled so much steeply, so it's not flat on the handle, it's already steeply raked against the vertical handle. So it's very comfortable. It's not like it really bending it. No, this is just a normal comfortable angle that you would use for a regular DE razor, but it just works, the same hole works well with this razor. It's a smooth razor with that gem razor blade. Not a lot of variety in the gem razor blades, it really isn't. I think I saw like 2 different varieties of the sellers of the gem blades for nowadays, but I'd like to see some other manufacturers, but not sure that's going to happen. Just because I was, craving probably just a little bit more aggression, especially with my silver whiskers here. The white hair, just a little more coarse. Of course, you guys without the silver or white whiskers, you still have full color in your beard. It's like this would be, you probably right up your alley. I just liked how little I paid for this on eBay years back, and how good a razor it is, how well it performs, how nice condition it's in. Just the novelty of it. The handle is just so comfortable to hold on to too. I'm telling you, if I was a manufacturer of razors nowadays, the DEs, whatever, I would probably try an oval handle. I would. Especially with today's CNC machines and all that. Yeah, probably wouldn't be that tough to do. Just putting it out there. Anybody who's listening to manufacturers. The soap itself is just very nice. Barrister Mann, it just makes a quality soap. Always have been very pleased with the Barrister Mann line of soap. Who really likes this? Paul Rudd. Which I haven't seen him in a while. I don't know if he dropped off my feed or what, but I have not seen him in a while. I'm going to go searching for him. Him and his deadpan presentation. He's just, and he's also a fellow lefty. Okay, pass 2 is across the grain. See, that's such a steep angle of attack, but it really just, it's a smooth shaver. You can really see probably more on this side. Let me see. Hold my head so you can see this. And okay, and I'm gonna actually I saved this part 2 to try with my twig here, just because I hadn't done it. Well, I'll do under the nose first. And truthfully, I only go 2 passes underneath the nose here just to get those last little stragglers. The first pass just gets like 98% of the shaving done. So yeah, right up there, all the way up in there. It gets in there great. Most other razors, you have to come in from the side to really get up in there closer to the nose. Not with a twig. It just performs so well. All right, there's that. Now, lather up for pass 3. The lather is going on so thick and nice and wonderful. And plenty of moisture in here. Yeah, I could have, like I said, I could have put a little bit more water in there and thinned it out a little bit if I wanted to, give a little more volume, but this is really, truly how I prefer mine. It's a little less sloppy and messy too as you're applying it. It doesn't fly all over the place, you know, it's quite as bad as when it's thinner. Pass 3 is against the grain. Stretch the neck. Oh, I think it's so close. I'll probably do a buffing pass, but it won't need much of one. A little spot right there I can feel, but that's about it. Truthfully, during the week, I have not been doing a buffing pass, and I haven't been using the bowl either. Of course, I've been soaping up right from the puck here, which is getting very low. That's my daily driver right now, until it's gone, which isn't going to be much longer. Yep, and now let's do a buffing pass. Little bit of one, not really significant. I could just stop now, but just to chase that little bit and to show you technique that I use. Of course, I use water instead of adding more soap most of the time, so that's what I do. Barrister Mann soap is so good. This will just, the water will just kind of rejuvenate the slickness of the soap. And of course, you just saw me do a little bit of a slide. this is forgiving enough to let you get away with that. Some razors, no, it'll slice you. So if I was using the Vector right now, I'd have just sliced myself. So this is, for its age too, it is a forgiving razor for little bad techniques. Like when you're chatting away doing your shave. I got away with that. Okay, yeah, what did I say? Water only? Oh, you just saw me just do that little turn. Yeah, that's not something you can get away with with all razors. I gotta stop doing things like that. That's bad technique. Can't be showing you guys that. Don't do that. Don't do this at home, kids. All right, let me pause, wash up. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, wash off the excess soap here with a warm washcloth, and now turn the cold water on the sink. A couple of splashes of cold water to help seal the pores a bit, and then of course a little application of Alum. So let me just do that here real quick. Okay, not even grabbing the towel today. Just gonna let it drip into the t-shirt. That's fine. Got my Alum stick. Whatever Alum you choose to use, would highly recommend Alum, especially if you're not using like an alcohol-based aftershave afterwards. And yes, there's a little bit of sting. Am I getting a lot of stinging? No. No big significant nicks or anything here. So a mild light stinging all the way around. Let you know you're alive. But yeah, it works well. I really like it for the antiseptic properties of it. Zero scent, of course, at all. There's no scent on it, period. And truthfully, I'm not using an aftershave today. Using something else instead. What I've been using a lot of lately, and I'm going to be trying others. Put that up there, okay. Instead of using an aftershave, I'm just going to use a balm on my chin whiskers here. So this is the Bay Rum from Sterling. You know, because just scoop outside. I don't want it like a chunk. I just want it like smeared across my finger. Yeah, it kind of, and it blotches in there, you know, but then you have to rub it in. You know, you rub it, get it all around. Go for the hair, especially, and it's good too. But I like, especially older skin. You know, it can get dry underneath all the facial fuzz. It, you know, it takes care of that issue too. So yeah, so I'm not getting itchy and constantly scratching the chin whiskers. Now I'm going to get a little bit more. Apply it to the mustache. And what I wanted to show you guys too, you also apply it. Very just, not even just a light smear. It's the eyebrows. Again, as you get older, the skin in the eyebrow here can also get dry. So I like to hit the eyebrows too. And yes, I mean, I just trimmed them down to a 2.5 on my trimmer here today. So they're down, but that helps the skin there as well. So just a couple of tips you can use with a balm. You can just say the facial fuzz, but also your eyebrows. So yeah. And this, of course, the scent on this is kind of strong. This is more like an 8 out of 10. As far as scent strength, I don't know what the other scents, but this Bay Rum is strong. So yeah, it's working very well. And of course, I guess after I've done all that, I gotta just run a comb through it. There we go. Just gonna make sure it's evenly spread. And done. So yes, a nice shave, close shave, very comfortable shave. Not a lot of stinging rings afterwards, just a little bit. Very comfortable. Really enjoyed that shave. To say it continues to be my favorite vintage razor, and it's just something a little bit different, and it's not expensive to buy. A little cheaper than just a lot of the Gillettes out there, I can tell you. But the only thing is, it does take that gem blade instead of a standard, DE blade, which are, very inexpensive. But something I just wanted to show you something and show you what I enjoy as well. So hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and go with God.